Hello and welcome to my channel, Mothers Teach. My name is Simone, and on this channel, I talk about all things motherhood, most popular product reviews that have to do with anything motherhood, and homeschooling. So, without further ado, I would love to say welcome to those who are brand new to my channel. Please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button because I put out really useful content. Okay guys, so I am back again with another product review. I am rating the top 4 breast pumps to buy in the year 2024. And I think a lot of you will be pretty surprised because I was when I was doing all my research. So get ready guys, because I'm pretty shocked about all this. So for those of you who are questioning, why do I need a breast pump in the first place? The reason is a lot of times women go into the breastfeeding journey even before they even become pregnant. Like, I know I'm going to breastfeed and, there's no other way of doing it. Like, I'm not tolerating anything else. I'm going to breastfeed straight from the breast and that's it. But we can't put ourselves in a tunnel like that. We have to be more optimistic. Anything could happen, right? So for example, for me, I had to exclusively pump all of my milk for 15 straight months for my daughter because she wouldn't latch. She wasn't able to latch. And the reason was because she had a tongue tie and a lip tie, which I didn't get fixed until 2 months because I kept trying off and on with trying to get her to latch. And then finally I ended up breaking down and ended up getting it fixed by an ENT. And after that, after it healed, I tried to get her back on the breast again. And she still was just like, no, ma'am, we're just going to do the bottle and you're just going to have to deal with it. So I said, okay, that's going to be our journey. And I did that for 15 straight months. I had struggles pretty much all through the 15 months, but I was just so happy that I stuck with it and I was able to breastfeed my baby. Now, that does not discredit anybody who stopped or just was not able to produce any milk at all, even pumping or breastfeeding. It happens. So don't take this video, I'm just telling you my experience and I'm just letting you all know who have a tunnel vision for just, breastfeeding straight from the breast. It doesn't have to be. And most breastfeeding or lactation consultants will tell you, I think you should get a breast pump, at least a manual as a backup, because the nights when you don't feel like getting up to have to feed them or kind of force feed them in the middle of the night, you could be keeping up your breast milk supply by pumping. And a lot of women will get a backup breast pump because the more that you pump and the more that you breastfeed, the more your body is going to want to make and need to make, because they're thinking, hey, okay, the baby just fed. Uh-oh, we got another one. So we have to make more milk. Okay, so that is a great way that all lactation consultants, I would say, would recommend to increase breast milk is to get a pump. So yeah, I just say all that to say, don't get your hopes up. Don't have tunnel vision because our plans are never promised. So like I always say, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to be breaking down the top 4 best breast pumps to buy in 2024. But first, we're going to start with the 4 different types of breast pumps there are, because you don't want to just get anything. You kind of want to know what you're buying and what type of pump you have. So like I said, there's 4 types of breast pumps. The first is going to be your manual, which I'll give an example here. Okay. A manual is a lot of work, but it is beneficial. The next is a portable breast pump. Now, a portable breast pump is going to be more like the Baby Buddha, which I'll have an example here. And then I also have the Baby Buddha that I was sent from the company. So I'll have that in the lineup as well. Stay tuned. Also, the next breast pump type is going to be your wearable breast pump. And your wearable breast pump is pretty much self-explanatory. It's one of the ones that you wear in your bra. So normally people will wear them with a nursing bra. I didn't really feel like spending a lot of money on nursing bras, so I always just put them in my regular bra. But yes, a wearable breast pump is another type of pump, as well as an electric breast pump. Now, an electric breast pump is going to be like your hospital grade or like your Even Flow, the Spectra S1 Plus. those are going to be your electric breast pumps, and those usually have to be plugged into the wall. And they're more heavy duty and a little bit more pricey. And the way I'm going to be breaking all these categories down to get my top 4 is by these categories. So we're going to be going over the price. Duh. We're also going to be going over the loudness of the breast pump. Is it too loud? Like, some people like to be on the go in the market or even in class with the wearable breast pumps, but sometimes they can just be too loud, and that's kind of embarrassing and uncomfortable. The next category we're going to be going over is portability. So can you take it on the go? Is it heavy? Is it inconvenient to take with you all the time and travel, especially if you're a family that travels a lot? Also, we're going to be going over the maintenance. So counting how many parts it has. Is there a lot to clean? Things of that nature. And 2 more categories we have. Is it exclusive pumper approved? So is this a good breast pump for someone who has to exclusively breastfeed like I did? Or I'm sorry, exclusively pump like I did. And last but not least, everyone loves this, and this is like the main factor of why people like these videos. They want to know which one has the best suction strength. And we'll go over all of these categories, and I'll be giving the top 4 breast pumps to buy in 2024. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So coming in at number 4, of course, I would rate is the manual breast pump, which is going to be the Medela Harmony manual breast pump with personal fit flex. Okay, so I have a picture here so you guys can see an example. And with that, I actually had that breast pump. I could not find it at the moment. I'll probably end up getting a new one anyway, just because the parts are pretty old. I mean, I've had them for 4 years now. My daughter's 4 and I'm expecting again. So I'm definitely going to need a new one. But I would highly recommend this one, especially for someone who's exclusively breastfeeding, but yet you kind of want to pump after each feeding. And this is really good. Although it can get a little tedious, but I'll get into that. So with the manual breast pump, a simple way of using it is just, it has like a little lever and you manually squeeze it. It doesn't have any electricity, so you're not generating any power to kind of help you with that. So if you're a person who really wants to empty your breast after a feeding, you're really going to have to work hard and keep pumping, okay? Now, let's get into the price of the Medela. So with this, it's literally only going to be $31.49. And this is at Target, okay? So the reason why I chose Target is because the ones that I saw on Amazon, I don't believe they're actually from Medela themselves, because a lot of the pumps that I will be reviewing today, the Amazon reviews said that you pretty much miss out on money, you can't return it, and things like that, because it's not actually the company. So just keep that in mind. So if you're going to get the Medela, I would recommend either Walmart, Target, places like that. Let's get into the loudness. So the loudness for this manual breast pump obviously is going to be so quiet, right? But then you have manual breast pumps like the Lancino, which in the wearable breast pump, it's great. It wasn't loud, it's pretty monotone, and you can check out that video here or here. You'll see it linked. And you can check that one out to kind of know the loudness and all the specs of the wearable Lancino. But the manual Lancino, guys, I looked up those reviews on Amazon and they were absolutely horrible. They say it squeaks, like it'll wake their baby if the baby's asleep and they want to pump right after breastfeeding them. So I wouldn't recommend buying the Lancino, although the Lancino was said to be one of the most popular ones. But I wouldn't recommend it. I would just stick with the Medela because they're hand down like the OGs of breast pumps anyway. So I would recommend getting that if you're worried about loudness. Next, we're going to talk about the portability. So I feel as though the manual breast pumps are going to be the easiest because they're the lightest. So everything about it, there's no motor in it or anything. The whole thing is made of plastic. So all you have to do is just disassemble it and then put it in a bag. I'm not sure if the Medela came with a bag, but if it doesn't, you can easily just put that in luggage or something, or like a little personal, like intimate clothing bag or something like that to kind of keep it away and separate it from everything, but you can still just store it away quickly in your bag. And in my previous video, when I did the Medela as well, because that was on my top 5 list, with that one, you can just fit it in a purse. So the purse that you see back here, this black one, I was able to fit the Medela in that last video in this purse. So now let's get into the maintenance of a manual breast pump. So it is going to be the easiest breast pump to clean and keep up with. So it's not that many parts. I believe it only has about 3 or 4 parts. So you're gonna have like the main flange part at the top. So I'll leave a picture here so you have a little diagram. So you're probably gonna get like the big flange here at the top. And then I believe that's all connected into the neck part. And then you'll have the bottle, and then you'll have the little duckbill. And I believe that's about it. You don't have to wash the like the lever part. Unless that gets messy, you can just rinse that or something. But I don't think you can sterilize that. And then with the breast pumps, pretty much all of them you can sterilize. So you don't have to worry about the plastic melting or anything like that. Normally all breast pumps are able to be sterilized, whether in a microwave, boiling water, or using those high-tech machines where you can sterilize and clean the bottle. Let's get into, is this a good breast pump for someone who's exclusively using a breast pump? So I would not recommend this for someone who has to exclusively use a breast pump because it's a lot of work and no one's gonna be sitting there for 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes trying to empty out their breasts by hand. Unless you're gonna self-express a little bit here and there in between pumps or in between feedings, but I would not recommend this pump for someone who is strictly using a breast pump to try to get their milk supply. And then last but not least, we'll go into a manual pump's suction strength. So it's not going to be, it's not going to be strong really at all because it doesn't generate any electricity. And so there's nothing really pulling on it too much. It's really just you and all of the suction that's built inside of the plastic parts. So a lot of times people say that once their breasts kind of get a little moist from all of the milk that they're supplying or producing, that you'll lose suction. So you kind of gotta like wipe yourself off a little bit, put it back on there, and kind of keep trying and trying until you really get a good latch, so to speak, with the flange. So, but you're not going to get the like something where you kind of like feel pain, because a lot of people like to feel pain with it to make sure they're getting it all out, and you're not going to get that with the manual breast pump, unfortunately. Okay, so coming in at number 3 is going to be your wearable breast pump, and this is called the Willow Go Wearable Hands-Free, Cord-Free Electric Breast Pump. So we'll go right into it. So we'll start with the price. The price of this pump is going to be $299.26. And this was on Amazon and on their website. So as far as the loudness of this breast pump, it is pretty quiet. Most wearable breast pumps are pretty quiet. You have to worry about being in a room. I mean, unless it's absolutely quiet, obviously you can hear the motor going off. They don't have any breast pumps, I don't think right now, that are completely silent. But the wearable breast pumps really across the line are going to be the quietest out of an electric type of motorized breast pump. We'll get into the portability now. So usually a lot of wearable breast pumps will come with their own bags. I believe that the Willow Go does come with their own personal bags. If it does, I'll leave some pictures here. But that is something that I kind of forgot to look into, but I will definitely do that so that way I'll have it posted here for you for this video when it comes out. Now, I do know that the LV had 2 kind of like dust bags that you could separate the 2, but they only really fit the breast pump. They didn't fit like the extra parts and things like that. Whereas with the Baby Buddha, which is a portable breast pump, it's not a wearable, but it's a portable wearable breast pump. And it comes with this big bag here. Okay, it's not fancy at all. I think they really should have made this more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but something like, you know, a bag like this, or there's some other pumps like the Mom Cozy has like a nice like dome shaped box that zippers. So that's really nice and easy to take with you, but it's kind of bulky. But I personally like the ones where you can just slip each one in a little bag and throw it in your luggage if you need to go, or a purse or something like that. Now let's get into the maintenance. So with the maintenance of the Willow Go, you are going to have quite a few parts. I believe you'll probably have at least 5 to 6 parts to clean. No, you cannot clean the whole, like the big motor part, obviously, because it's electricity, and so you don't want to mess it up. But you will have like the duckbill valve, you'll have the diaphragm, and I'll leave all of the different little parts here so that way you can see which parts you actually have to clean. And some of those duckbills can be very tedious to clean because you have to make sure you're really getting in there and cleaning it good. And then you always want to make sure that you sterilize and also replace parts every 3 to 4 months. Is the Willow Go good for someone who is exclusively using a breast pump? I would say no, just because wearable breast pumps like the Willow Go, the LV, Mom Cozy, if you're using those on a daily basis, and let's say you have to use it at least like maybe 15 times a day, a little bit more, a little bit less, give or take, you are going to wear down the battery. And I noticed in all of the reviews, pretty much, if someone was using it like every day on a daily basis, it did wear out the motor and they had to replace the whole thing. So I would not recommend this for someone who's exclusively pumping every day and, you know, supplying their milk that way. If you're going to be someone who does that, like myself, I would only use that type, like the Willow Go, for on the go. If you had to go somewhere but you still wanted to keep up with your milk supply, you could do it like that. Or if you're out somewhere or traveling on the plane, you know, you don't have anywhere to plug up anywhere. So that would be a good idea to get the Willow Go as a wearable breast pump. So last but not least, for the Willow Go, we'll talk about the suction strength, which I did see in all of the reviews. Pretty much the suction strength was not good. A lot of people said that like maybe the first week or two, it was really good, really strong, gave them a good amount of milk, but then eventually it was linked to a decrease in their milk supply. And that's pretty alarming. So for it to even be on this list as one of the top ones to buy in 2024, I'm really surprised. I would have thought maybe the Lancino, Mom Cozy, you know, something along that line, but the Willow Go, it's number 3 on the list here. And so, yeah, but one of the perks was that it does have an app. But I did hear that the app was kind of limited to the features that it had. So a lot of moms like to see how much output they're bringing in, even though you can see it. But a lot of people like to have it logged in the app. And with this app, you're not able to do that, unfortunately. Now, again, I'll go back to where you should get this pump from. So if you are going to buy the Willow Go, do not get it from Amazon. And that's just my personal opinion, because after reading all of the Amazon reviews, a lot of moms could not return to the vendor. So apparently Amazon was letting them know that this is not actually Willow selling this breast pump. This is a separate vendor or unauthorized vendor, however they put it in the comments and reviews. So I would not go to Amazon, which this price is based on Amazon's price. So I would try to either get a price match with Willow, or if you're going to go to Target or somewhere like that, I would buy it from there. I would not buy it from Amazon. Also, there are no storage bags with this. So I actually did look this one up. So there are no storage bag with this Willow Go wearable breast pump, unfortunately.
Join the rest of many shoppers who purchase and are exploring this fun, busy book for toddlers, packed with engaging play and learning activities for kids. Not only did I create and design this book myself from cover to cover, but I made it with full intent to prepare your child for preschool and kindergarten. A busy book is designed to keep your little ones busy and allows them to use their hands and minds to solve activities in the book. This busy book keeps learning fun and contains 13 themes of fun-filled activities. Books are only $25.99 plus shipping. Place your order today by emailing mothersteach21@gmail.com. First 20 orders will receive $10 off their purchase.
All right, so coming in at number 2, we are going to get into Baby Buddha Double Electric Breast Pump. So I have an example of it because the company did send it to me a while ago. So like I showed you before, it does come in this bag, and I'll kind of do like another overview. But I did already review this pump, so it'll be posted or linked here at the top corners. So click that after you watch this video so you can get more in tune with all of the parts and ins and outs of the Baby Buddha. So like I said, the Baby Buddha is going to be a portable wearable breast pump. So although you don't have to plug up to the wall and be tethered to the wall while you breast pump, while you pump, but you do have wiring with this because it connects to this wireless motor here. And this is what controls all the modes, suction strength, everything here. And then it just plugs up into the flange and bottle, and then you wear it. Now with this, unfortunately, you do have to get the bra in order to be on the go with it, because they say it's a portable wearable breast pump, but you do have to purchase one of the breastfeeding bras that you can, or like pumping bras where you can fit the flange into the bra and then it'll stay up. Now for women who are much bustier like myself, you would need something with straps to hold it up, because the bandeau ones just did not stay up and I had to keep adjusting it. So for those of you who are new and did not watch the Baby Buddha review video, this is the pump here. Okay, and it does come with a lanyard that you can wear around your neck and be on the go. And I'll show you a picture of like a mom walking her baby. And you turn it on with this button, and then this is like a little rolly pin here where you can control all the modes and everything within this this motor here. So let's get into the price of the Baby Buddha wearable breast pump. On their website, I just went straight there just because I was so traumatized by all of the Amazon reviews and how people just couldn't get their money back or get replacements of pumps. So I just went straight to their website, Baby Buddha, and I'll leave everything linked down below. So if you're interested in buying any of these, just go in the description box and all the links will be there for you to purchase. So for the Baby Buddha, the price of this is going to be $189.99. So that's not bad at all. Much cheaper than the wearable breast pumps. And we'll go into the loudness next. So it is kind of loud, but not. So it's definitely noticeable in a room with a couple people. It's not something that's quiet and nobody will notice. It goes pretty high, so the higher that it goes, the louder it gets. Let's go into the portability. So it has great portability because like I showed you, it has the bag. Everything kind of fits in there. The only thing is, if you didn't like that bag, then you would have to get something that kind of fits all of this. And with it being so long and like you can't take this part off, you know, this is like a whole piece all together. So you have to find an awkwardly shaped bag in order to fit these parts. So that's the only con that I have about it, but it is very portable and it's lightweight. How is the maintenance? So since I have an example, we can kind of just go into how many parts you would have to clean. So I'm not too sure about the tubing. I would assume, yes, you would have to get some tubing, because if you get some suction that comes back up in the tubing, I would assume that you would have to wash it. So let's just say, yes, you do have to wash the tubes. So if you're using 2 of the bottles and the flanges at the same time, then you have this tube. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is kind of like the cap that keeps this from getting like dusty and linty. So if, let's just say, if it gets dirty. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I said, this whole part would be 8, 9, the bottle, 10 for the duckbill inside. So that's a lot of parts. So it would be very tedious to clean, I would say. So I would say it's kind of low in rating for maintenance. So, and these are a lot of parts to keep up with as well. And I remember with the wearable breast pump, their stuff was a lot smaller than this portable pieces. So it was kind of hard to keep up with and making sure that you had them all in the bag when you were getting ready to go on a trip or something like that. So if you're worried about the maintenance and you don't want all the parts, then I would not recommend the Baby Buddha. But it is on the top 4 of my list because it's really great. And now we'll get into, is this a great pump for an exclusive pumper? And I would say yes, because, and I'll answer the next one too, the suction strength is really, really good on this. I know I have a high pain tolerance as far as the breast pumping goes. So I went all the way up pretty high with this. I do feel like the Level 9 and 8 were a little bit too much, but I could do like a 7, 6, 5, and it worked really good. I felt it had a good suction strength to it. And so with it being a really good suction strength, I would say that this is perfect for an exclusive pumper. Although I wouldn't say that it's great if you're on the go. So I would get this and then a wearable breast pump as well as a backup. Unless you're gonna get the bra and the bra really works out for you. But I didn't really like the bandeau bras. Like I said, you would have to get ones that have the straps. And they're noticeable, so they're not discreet. So if you're worried about it being discreet, then this would not be the breast pump to get, because they come right out like this. So let's get into it. The number one breast pump to buy in 2024 is the Spectra S1 Plus electric breast pump. So that was also my number one in my last video rating the top 5 best breast pumps to buy. And it's still standing as number one. So nothing has beat it yet. And I'm thinking about getting one or trying to collab with them to review it for you guys, because I keep hearing really, really good reviews. And all the reviews on Amazon, when women were comparing the breast pump that they bought and they didn't like, they were all comparing it to the Spectra and just saying how like they always just went back to their Spectra. They don't know why they purchased another pump, even though you had to plug it in. Or I think maybe that one was cordless, or you didn't have to plug it in a long time, but you still had to charge it up. But it was heavy, bulky, so traveling with it, being on the go as far as the portability of it isn't the greatest, but that's always everybody's first choice when it comes to a breast pump. So let's get into the price. So the price of the Spectra S1 Plus electric breast pump is going to be $216, which I think is great for an electric breast pump because most are more than that. We'll get into the loudness next. So the loudness, is it quiet? Is it loud? I would say it's more on the loud side because it's so bulky. It has a powerful motor, and you definitely can hear you in a room with a lot of people in there. As far as portability, like I mentioned a little bit while ago, it is very bulky and heavy. Most moms say that they don't take it on the go, that they'll just do one of their wearable breast pumps or they'll just do their manuals. As far as the maintenance, there are quite a few parts, but I don't believe it's as many parts as the Baby Buddha. Is this great for an exclusive breast pumper? Yes, I highly recommend, like I always say in all my videos, please get an electric breast pump where you have to plug into the wall, because those are going to be the closest ones that you'll get to a hospital grade breast pump. You're always going to be able to increase your milk supply with these because of the suction strength, and it's just an all-around great pump. The parts always pretty much stay pretty well, even they surpass the 3 to 4 month threshold of having to replace the parts, what I noticed with an electric breast pump. And also, last but not least, like I've been saying the whole time about the Spectra, it does have an awesome suction strength like the hospital grades. Now, the hospital grades I did not add on this list because I just thought, it's pretty pricey, and I just feel like my audience would like something more affordable, especially with the times being as hard as they are. So thank me later, because the hospital grade ones are like $2,000 and above. So unless you have that kind of money to splurge on a breast pump, it's worth it. It's definitely worth the money. I would recommend it. But if you don't, then I would definitely recommend the Spectra S1 Plus. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave any comments down below of, your input about this video. Were there things that you liked, didn't like, and also just tips on what topics I can do next. A lot of you put in requests for different breast pumps that you would like for me to review, and I'm definitely taking note of that. So please go ahead and leave your feedback down below. And that's the end of this video. I hope you guys really liked it. I'll just go do like a recap through everything. So number one breast pump is going to be the Spectra S1 Plus. And the last one in line is going to be obviously the manual breast pump, which is the Medela. And yeah, and then we broke everything down. I talked about all of the different types of breast pumps. So if you guys have any more questions outside of what I talked about, please also comment down below. All right, guys, until next time, thank you for tuning in.